All right. And welcome back to another episode of Rough Sketch to Final Draft. I am your host, Coach Adam, and we are here to wrap up the season finale for season 2 with an amazing guest. We are wrapping up this beautiful second season that we never knew was going to happen, but was required and requested upon by the Coach Adam family and by the Rough Sketch to Final Draft demand that we keep on going. Everyone has been so loving and so kind. It's such an amazing community that we've built here. And that's part of what is today. Our guest is legitimately one of our greatest supporters, someone who has just had a voice in the comments, someone who has been so loving and supportive in the DMs, and just been a genuine light for everyone in this community and has connected with so many. And this is just our episode to give back. So allow me to pass this over to our esteemed guest today, Leonor. If you would like to introduce yourself to the family, please go ahead now.
Sure. My name's Leonor Medina, and I am from Texas, museum in Brownsville, Texas. So I've had a lot of fun with this community. I've noticed a lot of change from the time frame that I started following Coach Adam, and it's been an experience. I have grown a lot from all aspects, and I'm a little bit more confident on little things that I do and I say and I hold back. But and it's helped me also at work. So staying positive, always hearing the positive reinforcement from Coach Adam, and it's a blessing.
Well, we're happy to have you here, more than you would ever know. The community is blessed by
Thank you for
individuals
having
such
me
as
here.
yourself. This is a great representation. Absolutely. Oh. And we're blessed to have individuals such as yourself in this community. That's the whole entire reason why there's this growing surge, I believe, for the material and the content that we're putting forth. I mean, legitimately, as we've shared all the way back at the end of season 2, we got to go back all the way to episode number 1 with Lulu Lee. Shout outs to the amazing Lulu Lee. God, love you.
Yes,
Got me going
definitely.
in the whole entire sense of this journey. I mean, she was literally supportive and lit that fire underneath me, and I ended up putting my face to the camera and really investing in being able to grow. And through that, I was able to connect and reach out to amazing individuals such as you, Leonor. And I'm so grateful for the fact that you've been able to have a positive change in your own life through the materials that Coach Dea, Coach Lulu, Coach Adam, myself in that regard have been able to offer to you. What are some of the significant things that you've resonated with over the past 14-month journey that we've all been kind of a part of here?
It's opened up a lot of where I'm able to more understand what all of us go through and some of us don't want to say about. um,
Yeah.
Between listening to you and listening to Coach Dea and most recently Coach Lulu and Jasmine Clemente, uh,
Hmm.
it's 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 something that we all need to hear. Once in a while we don't never had heard this before, and I think it's part of what we had with COVID going on. It kind of threw us into that little bubble, and with that,
Hmm.
now listening to it more often and listening to it on Instagram, and um, it just by chance that I had come upon your page. I think one of your videos had popped up, and I was like, oh, I need to listen to this, and that has helped me. So as I'm going along
Yeah.
and everything, I've had friends who have now been following all of you, and it's impacting them. So to me, if I can help someone that way, then you helped me help them. I guess if you could say that, if I can say that. So at work, it's helped me be a little bit more confident of what I need to do, because sometimes I am in front of the camera at work, or I am in front of people, of groups of people. So it's to me more,
Yeah.
it's just helped. It's let me grow a little bit more, but it's also kept me a little
It's
bit more
beautiful.
positive. I've
Well, I'm
been
grateful
able
to be
to
able
kind of,
to
when I listen to your
be any
videos, yes,
of this.
yes, yes, definitely. Even just at home, sometimes I'll be listening to the videos because something resonated and I didn't catch it, and I'll tell you, I need to go back and listen to this one because I didn't hear it, and it's also allowing me to keep growing in that sense. And also Coach Dea, I've kind of been a little bit more with her also, and I've learned some from her also on some of the topics that sometimes I'm like, did I do that wrong? Why did I do it this way? Or can I do it differently? And before I had never done that. And I think I shared something with you and with her that I'm a historian. And that's my job. That's my nature. So I've never been one
Yeah.
to write anything. Usually it's historical. But to lately, I guess maybe the last, 2 or 3 months, I've been writing little quotes, or I guess you could call them quotes, or little stories or something, which is something I've never done before. And Coach Dea says those are my thoughts. Well, to some extent they are, but then to some extent it's me seeing what my friends are going through, uh, and friends that I think they're friends, but they're really not friends on Instagram. But they're still somebody that is something they did or said resonated with me. And that
Yeah.
to me, I'm kind of like, wow, I'm proud of myself. I'm actually writing something that I never would have thought to do that before. And I had my phone crashed last month, so I lost a lot of my little stories. So now I'm
Yeah.
having, Coach Dad said, restart them and take a picture of them and now save them a certain way. So she's told me how to do that part. But I've seen a lot of growth. I've seen a lot of growth in me personally, going from not being very confident on things and going through what I went through marriage wise, and then also living where I'm living now and everything. And then now the new job that I've been at and I love for a whole year already
Mm.
is this has helped me get more positive to what 2024 is going to be for me. Um, Whether it has someone in my life or doesn't have someone in my life, I'm fine. I'm learning to be fine about it. And you have taught me that, and so has Coach Dea. So that to me is a lot. Because before I would panic and I would overthink. And I still to some extent overthink. And then I get that little video from Coach Adam that pops up on my Instagram and says, Lenore. But not necessarily addressing it to me, but you're addressing it to everybody. But it sounds like it's to me, if that makes sense. So yes, I truly, truly, truly appreciate everything.
We're honored to be a part of it, and we're so glad that Leonor's life has opened and transformed and grown in the ways that it has. I mean, I've always seen you as a genuine being of light that shines for your children and for those in your community and those through your workplace. And all I have seen is this candle just continually grow into a flame. And who you are and where you are with all this light that's radiating off of you right now is just so much more of Leonor. Like she's just grown so much. I've always loved you from the day one, and it's just continually grown. So trust me, Day and
Thank
I
you.
absolutely hold it in our hearts that we're grateful to be a part of your journey in any way and capacity. Now, I've got a little bit of a nice thing to say here in a few minutes that I'll let the audience in on about you. Though at the same time, I mean, I just really want to acknowledge where you've come from. And to the audience, on that point, if you're finding this information, if you're finding this content, there's never an accident in this universe. There are no such thing as coincidences. There's not. Everything is always happening for a reason. So if you found us and you're here, just like I used to say in season one, more often than now, is the fact that this is for you. This is really something that is resonating with you, and you drew this in through the law of attraction and manifestation in the universe. And if this is what you need, maybe for a moment, maybe just for a season, maybe for an era, or this is something that you're really going to resonate with, then this is where you're supposed to be. And individuals such as Leonor are having changes in their lives, and it's really growing for them. So, Leonor, share a little bit with the community in that sense of what you've also seen as you've grown, what that has had as a ripple effect into your personal and professional life, as we're hoping for things to continue to keep growing. What has already taken place for you? Share with us a little bit about that.
A lot of it has to do with, like I said, I am sometimes in front of a camera. I do a lot of tours at my museum. So sometimes before I would be like, I'm not too confident about it. Now I'm like, I hear Coach Adam, yes, you can. You can do it. I was like, okay, got it. I got it. I'll take a deep breath and let's do this. Just like for this. So in that sense, it's allowed me to grow a little bit more on that. I come from a marketing background, which is very interesting because And I'm still afraid of being in front of people, but I have been able to get better at it.
Yeah.
And I do get a lot of where you're always smiling. There's always something positive. You don't show anything else. I'm like, why do I need to show that in public? Why does people need to know what I'm feeling? I can do that at home.
Yeah.
I'd rather show somebody I'm smiling, maybe that, like I've quoted before in my little stories.
Yeah.
If I smile, somebody else is going to smile and they're going to forget what they were going through. And I've
Amen.
had that before where somebody has smiled at me and I've not been at my best, and that made me better. So when I hear your videos and they're saying something about, growing and doing and being able to get ahead, it makes me think now, okay, I need to stay focused. I need to continue doing what I'm doing, not allow the negative saying, oh no, you can't, you can't do that. And I have that a lot before, especially during COVID and recovering from a surgery that uh, was on my throat, and I thought I wasn't going to talk
Yeah.
and not have a voice. So to me now, I'm like, okay, no, I have my voice. I do
Yeah.
lose it once in a while, but I still keep smiling and I still keep going and doing what I need to do. And my kids know if mom's not smiling, something's wrong. Either she's not feeling good or something. But I've also taught them, you need to continue smiling, keep going forward, keep doing what you're doing. And a lot of it comes from listening to now the videos that I listen with you, and I have gone back and listened to some before. I do have some saved on my Instagram, or
Mm.
I share them. Several times I've shared them on my stories, or I've shared them to people that I've met on Instagram that I feel need that positive from you, from Coach Dea, from Coach Jasmine, or Coach Lulu, because we need that. And
Yeah.
especially now in this season that we're little bit post COVID, but still in that, and then still not knowing what 2024 is going to be
Right.
holding for all of us, which is, you know, but other than that, it's pushing forward. That's what I keep learning and I keep hearing from you. And it gives me that strength that I need to keep going. Other than my faith, that keeps me going too. So between
Yeah.
both of them, I think I needed to hear your video that first time. And that was when I first heard that first video of yours, was a time when
Mm.
I wasn't feeling very well about things. I didn't know what was going to happen, how
Yeah.
long I was going to be doing something, or how long I was going to be able to handle doing something. And now it's like, oh no, I can handle it. I still
Yeah.
panic a little bit, not as much as I used to. So
Good.
it's good.
Good. The inner strength is
I thank
growing.
you for that. Yes,
Humbled and
exactly.
happy to be a part of it. Absolutely. And I most definitely that all credence and love and light goes to the original source of the beginning anyways, and we're never worried about mentioning that as a community here in that regard. This is a place for healing, and that's definitely coming through us in that regard. I believe
Exactly.
in the humblest way is that we're getting a chance to connect and build our family of light here in the
Yes.
flesh in that regard, and getting a chance to introduce ourselves to one another. And perhaps we've known each other in lives before. We certainly knew each other in a different realm, and we're building that family of light for the healing that is necessary right now. And maybe
Yeah.
during some of the questioning times, as you're hinting at with 2024, of who knows what's going to happen, where the world's going. But if anything, that's the whole entire point, is to at least
Exactly.
genuine, even if we're going through the darkness, right? And as I was mentioning before, you have that
Yes.
beautiful, bright light within you. Even through the darkness,
Thank
you
you.
hold on to that light within you, Leonor, and you shine it bright, and you light other people's candles. And you keep on being that beautiful beacon of hope and light for your children, for those in your community, and you keep on doing that. And that's the point of this Rough Sketch to Final Draft episode, this podcast, this family we've created here in the first place, is to just not stop. Keep going. That's right. It's a rough sketch. It's rough. Life is real. We've had some really interesting, tough conversations with some individuals here on this show. You and I have shared some real tough things that
Yes.
we're going through in real life, haven't we?
Oh
And
yeah. Leonor, get your
It's
act together. Yeah,
right. Life is
sure.
happening. Right?
Yeah,
We're authentically
yes.
there, vulnerable, and we show up for one another. They never say perfect,
I I
right?
think that everything that you and Coach Dea and Coach Jasmine and Coach Lulu do um, via Instagram, because before I used to be a lot on Facebook.
Yeah,
It's that COVID time that switched me over to Instagram because I started seeing all the positive quotes. There's always somebody posting something. And
yeah,
that's how I ended up with your video. And doing that, it allows people to, that would not have been able to before, talk to someone
yeah,
like you or Coach Dea or Coach Jasmine or Coach Lulu, because they're afraid of
yeah,
it, or they're like, I don't need that. That probably would have been me a year, 2 years ago. Now it's like, no, there was a reason, and
yeah.
the reason was I needed to hear that. Um, and not having, personally me, I don't have the time to go to an office and talk to someone
Yeah.
because I'm at work all day. And
Right.
but to hear the constant reinforcement on Instagram, on a social media platform, to top it off, it makes it convenient for me, but it I'm sure is impacting a lot of people that way also, because they're like, okay, well, nobody's seeing this video other than me in my home or in my car or on my phone or whatever it is.
Mm,
Personally, me, I would have been the same way. I would have been like, no, it's okay. I'm not going to the office. Thank you. But
right.
listening to you all every day is different. That's, and I'm thankful that Instagram has a lot of that, and
Yeah.
that y'all were on it, and that your video popped up, on that sense. So I'll never
Right.
forget that. So,
I do recall, actually, even before we started filming this one, I'll happily share this with the audience forevermore. I did go back before we did this episode we're doing right now. I did go back to our first engagement, and there was a message that you had sent off of the phone. So bless your beautiful heart, and that just kicked off this amazing connection. And like I said, I'm still going to hold off on it, but there's more to come on this episode. I'm hearing from this man's heart to you. Um, though it really is lovely, everything that you're sharing in the truest sense that it I know from experience with speaking with Coach Dea, who is just an amazing empowered woman, coaching women and working on understanding of who they are through challenging times. Lulu Lee, who works on beautiful body work and coaching individuals that way. Jasmine Clemente, who, again, all of these individuals are absolutely amazing healers and coaches in their modalities that they work with on being able to get people from at least, if not A to Z, at least A to H, right? Like we're getting to a spot where we're getting from where we were stuck in inertia, right? In that regard, and then at least getting us chance to start moving the flow of our lives. They're incredible,
exactly.
right? And that's really what we're working for. If anything, when we had the seminar that was just passed, now that we can go ahead and chat more about that one, is the fact that we were saying that we were,
And I'm
you
so
know,
sorry I missed it.
oh no, perfectly fine. No, blessings to you. That's beautiful. And anyone that did attend, wonderful. If not, there are more to come. We'll put that out there for the episode now for the future to come. 2024, there's a lineup with a more. So Leonor, hold tight. There's some opportunities. But we lovingly said that there used to be the Charlie's Angels. We had lovingly said that these were the coaching angels, right? So we've got Lulu Lee, Coach Day, we got Jasmine Clemente, and they're the coaching angels, right? Speaking about being vessels for a higher purpose above in that regard. And I don't know, we weren't sure, and I'm happy to kind of make this as a happy thing for the audience, but not sure if that makes me Bosley or if that makes me Charlie. I'm okay,
I was
right?
just going to say
There we
Bosley.
go. There we go. It might be Bosley. I think so. I think so. So go ahead and
Bosley.
yep,
That's what
yeah,
I was going to say.
leave a comment down below, fam. You let me know. I'm happy to be as humble and transparent as it comes, so I'm okay with it. But and we're doing our best to just be guiding lights, right? We're never perfect. We've all learned through our really challenging spots in our lives. Anyone who's a friend of this channel and or who's new, please go back through some of the old content. But I'm about as open as it can be with being and the vulnerability of what we've gone through and the things that I've experienced with being, mistreated and molested when I was young, being abandoned, being mistreated by family members, going through ups and downs, having heartbreaks, having a business, losing a business, restarting from scratch, coming from a different country and immigrating here. I understand those struggles, being someone who was lost in language barriers and so on and so forth when I first arrived here. It's a challenge. These are real things again. And Dea and Lulu and Jasmine and humbly myself, we're doing our best that we can to be that. So if there's any benefit that you've ever received, Leonor, we are doing our absolute humble best. And we're just honored to have amazing individuals such as you be a part of this incredible journey. We truly are. We truly, truly are. So in that regard.
And I am humbled to be here.
it's a shared love. It really genuinely is. And I'm gonna parcel this out now because we're about 20 minutes into the episode, and I'm gonna now do this, and I'm gonna preface this that you might get hit. So I'm just saying that right now, though at the same time I'm gonna turn the tables a bit and not just ask the amazing Leonor some questions. I'm gonna let Leonor know some answers. And I want to let you know, now that we're halfway through this episode, how much you mean to me, how much you mean to this family, how much you mean to this community. From here on now, recorded for live for the generations to come, that there are mornings that have gone by in this past 14 months journey where we had no channel really. We had maybe 200 followers on Instagram. We had no podcast yet, no merch or anything else like that. And I get these wonderful messages from this incredible soul, Leonor. I'll introduce you one day. She's an amazing human being. You'd like her. That she is sending me DMs letting me know how much the content means to her and how much she needs me. She's got something going on. She's got something hanging on her heart. And she's looking to Coach Adam for a little bit of a guidance and assistance. And I'm sitting there wondering what am I doing with my life? I've got my professional career outside of this. I've got my dailies. What am I going to do? I've got my concerns that I've got going on in my world. I'm even thinking about what I'm going to post for the content that day or whether or not anyone even likes my reels whatsoever. And there's this beautiful, wonderful soul filled with light and love who's saying, Adam, I need you. Wake up. Adam, hey, I'm in your DMs. I need you now. Letting me know that it's all right, that it's working, that something we're doing in our humble best over here on the Coach Adam side of things was working. And it got me up in the morning. And it kept me going. And it kept me dedicated to building relationships and establishing connections with amazing souls such as yourself for this past 14 months. Lulu lit the fire, though it's souls just like yours, and specifically yours, Leonor, that I want to honor you, I want to acknowledge you, and I want to appreciate you on this episode in front of the universe to come and everyone who's listening, a part of this amazing family. That the difference that followers and connections like you genuinely make for humble creators such as myself, who is a nobody, makes the world a difference to let us know that what we're doing makes a difference in people's lives. So know that you are seen and that I see you, that you are heard and that I hear you, and that you are loved endlessly. Not just by me. I'm sure that there are hundreds of amazing individuals who get a chance to love you in your world. Just count Coach Adam. That's another one. And as a friend, you mean more than you know.
That means a lot to me. Love you too.
Do.
I've never, I'm very humbled of what you're saying because I've never seen myself as anything like that. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I
You got the spark as
appreciate it.
well. Maybe we'll get you to be a coach one day. Family?
I don't know about that yet.
While Leonor gets a chance to just kind of let that sink in that moment, maybe like, subscribe, give the amazing Leonor a heart. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to subscribe. And it of course, you'll find her down below. This amazing community is already connecting with you already, like the amazing Christine, Layla, Lisa, Leslie, all the L's right there came off the top of my head. If any of those are you, shout out to yous. Just Yael, there's so many in this beautiful community that I know you've connected with as well. And it's members like you that make the biggest difference. It truly is. You become family and friends. I mean, to a man who literally came from a faraway land in France long, long ago and came here with nothing but his father. The family that I have in my life are the connections that I've made through my life. I did not have a brother and a sister and tons of cousins and relatives. I came here with an amazing father. And the connections that I've made with individuals such as your beautiful soul are the family that I believe we're meant to connect with. Again, soul connections and divine appointments, these alignments take place, Leonor. And I just want to have a moment to acknowledge you and just say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's like I tell certain people, and I think I posted a little story about it. It says, that said, I don't say I love you to say I love you. I'm not that kind of person. Anybody who knows me knows that.
Yeah.
So if I say I love you and I'm posting it on Instagram or I'm sending you in a message, it's because I truly do.
Yep.
I'm not one to just say it of, let's say, Adam or my whoever, friend or whatever. If I say that,
Yeah.
it means that you are a part of my heart, and that's not, I don't give that out easily. It's not something I do. So if you see something like that, it's because you're part of my heart, and that will never change. I'll be the person who will always be there to answer your messages if you happen to need to talk to me for whatever reason. So there's only certain individuals that have that, and they don't sometimes realize that they think because everybody says I love you all the time, they just say it to, I say it to say it. No, I don't. It's not something I do. So when I post it, I say I love you, coach. Yes, I do love you. Thank you so much for everything.
You do.
And if I say querido or cariño, that's a whole different situation. But
Yes.
that's endearment. That's in Spanish. So,
Different.
but I don't say those too often either. But it's just me, me being me, uh, as as I'm sometimes told by my coworker. So
I think that's the whole thing, right? In the fact of like literally where I've had conversations with Coach Dea. Hi, Coach Dea, in the sense of hold us accountable. We've had conversations about you. You are such an intense lover. You are so real and raw and authentic. It's just amazing. It was one of the main reasons why I was even inspired to like, how do I wrap up this season? I thought, why don't we have an amazing conversation with Leonor? She's such a love and she's such a light. She's so genuine. And you're so the representation of every member that's in this wonderful community that is seeking and giving for love and light in life. You are so real. I thought this must be it was just a match made in heaven because she has such an authentic heart that it was just the best idea to share this moment with you. And again, maybe the comments will decide down below whether or not you have the spirit of a coach inside you. I believe you do. So I'm just
oh
saying
no,
I think you do. But I know that you're an amazing leader for your family, for your children, and for everything that you're growing in and you're communing with your job and your workplace. We see it often in your posts and your material and your content. And I would like to have a moment, I guess, to maybe transition into some of that and the fact of where do you see, the growth in that regard for maybe some others, maybe not just in that regard, but things that you really have grown in yourself. We'll make it a little bit like a bit of a sharing session like we usually do for these interviews and these deep fireside chats, if you will. Not necessarily interviews, they're just completely organic in that regard. But in that sense of some advice for others, because out there in the community that are going to resonate with everything that you are and everything that you've been growing through as well. What are some of the key takeaways that you've had that you can share about being a better leader and showing up for others in being a great mother and in the workplace? Just share a little bit about that, maybe.
I think in reference to my kids, they saw what I went through, and they've seen what I've had to go through and what I did up to 2 years ago went through, but they also pushed me to keep going. So
Yeah.
in that sense, that helped. But in work related, listening to the community, listening to everything related to the positive thinking, staying focused, that is pushing me to say, yes, I need to go get my master's. I need to stop stalling, go get it. I need to
Yes.
get away from living in a city that I've lived in all my life
Yep.
and still to this day still live, and
Yep.
say, no, I can live outside of this. I need to go, and like my little one, 24-year-old says, Mom, there's more to go. You can go do more things. And I push them.
Yeah.
I've always pushed them. And that recently, and I think that they'll probably tell you, I've pushed them more at doing things and saying, nothing's holding you back.
Yeah.
And this is from listening to your videos, Coach Dea and everybody. There's nothing's holding you back. Go and do what you need to go do. Enjoy it. And I'm noticing that I'm doing that more often now. I will go and do little things after work that I normally would not have because I'm like, I want to go home. That's it. I'm tired. But work for me at the museum is not work.
Yeah.
It's my passion, but it's what
Yeah.
I love. It took me 30 some years to get to where I'm at. And this last year flew by, and I have enjoyed every minute of it and still enjoying every minute of it.
Mm.
Um, Historians are geeky. We could get a little geeked out with with items and things. And my museum is a textile museum, so it's very different. So every day I'm learning in that sense, but I'm also putting into effect a lot of what I'm listening in the videos, and
Yeah.
it's pushing me to say, yeah, go, you can do that. You don't, what are you waiting for? Just go do it.
There you
Or
go.
I'm a little bit more outspoken now, and I'll say something. If it's bothering me, I'm going to tell you now. Then
Yeah.
before I'll be like, I'm not going to hurt that person's feelings, even though it's hurting me, I wasn't going to. Now I'm like, no, I'm going to tell you. So, and if it bothers them, it bothers them. I'm like, then you're not a true friend.
Yeah.
Because anybody that knows me personally here and if you ever met them, they would tell you that they've seen the change in me from years past to now.
Yeah.
So, in a
Good.
sense, a lot of what I've been listening to with you and Coach Dea recently, I've been incorporating it into what I'm doing at home, at work, driving home from Corpus this past Sunday, listening to one of your videos again because I missed it, or I was like, no, I need to listen to that one again for whatever reason. So that's what I'm listening to sometimes. And
Good.
before, if you had asked me about listening to something like that, I would have been like, no, it's okay. I'm good. I don't need to. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I need to. I need to, because if I don't push myself, who's going to push me other than my kids? And I'm pushing them. So I thank you for that. And
You're
that's
welcome.
that's what I've taken from everything that I've experienced, all the videos. And I have missed them, and I've gone back and I said, Coach, I missed this one. Let me go back and hear it, or because I was in a meeting, or I was giving a tour, or whatever the reason was, or I was in a concert that I missed, you know,
Yeah.
uh, uh, the forum or anything. And so I was like, sorry, I
Yeah.
was with my son. So, but things like that. Now I'm like, don't panic. You got this. Go and do it. You
Right.
can do it after you get home, or you can do it when you get to work, or something. And before my overthinking would kick into gear, and I think you remember that. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would overthink quick
Yeah.
a year ago. Now I'm like, what would Coach Adam tell me? Don't overthink. Stop that.
Yeah.
And now I think it, like, okay, it's gonna be fine. I just
Right.
need to stop for a minute and think.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll ask Coach Dea, should I have not done this or should not said this? And she'll tell me. And so between all of you, I have not had too much with Coach Jasmine or Coach Lulu, but
Right.
looking forward to it on that sense. So yes.
Right.
So thank you
Yeah.
so much. I truly, truly have appreciated everything.
Absolutely. You've grown in the fact of being able to do the overthinking there's two different aspects of it, right? There's overthinking is better than underthinking, right? To anyone who's listening as well, to kind of lovingly give you a reminder, it's okay, right? So safe space if you're there. It's the negative self-talk versus overthinking,
Yeah.
even in a good way, right? I mean, in that we can be over planning towards something that's positive, and there can be overthinking and dwelling in the negative, right? So anyone that's kind of watching, kind of separating the two, anyone that's listening, just kind of understand that it's red or it's blue, right? There's a couple different emotions there. And when we work through that as a coach and we work through that in our lives individually, it comes from the fact of creating your overthinking to become a superpower, not something that's kryptonite, right? In that regard. Um, you don't want that to hold you back in that regard. And again, Leonor, phenomenal example of having overcome that negative self-sabotage, self-talk. And she's now complimenting herself and rooting herself on and making those decisions and showing up for herself, and making sure that she's making that healthy, healed version of, if it's going to bother somebody else, but it's going to come at the cost of her, she's now showing up for herself in a healthy way to make sure that she's prioritizing her, making sure that she is heard by her own inner voice. And that's empowering. And we empower you to do that always through the Coach Adam, through the Rough Sketch of Final Draft. Coach Dea resonates with that one, with the empowerment that she teaches. So blessings to her, and just keep on going in that regard. So as we're always chatting, I always like to add some things in there for the benefit of the audience who has yet to have as much one-on-one time as I've had with you in that regard. And as we're getting a chance to wrap this beautiful season up, it's just wonderful to be able to share this with you. I'm taken aback by it, even in this very moment, Leonor, and I'm humbled. Again, you even said yes to being on the podcast. I just want to hold space for you and just appreciate you and say so much gratification and just gratitude towards you and who you are, for your growth and for being a part of this channel. I really, really do. I really, 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 really do. I do.
Thanks,
So
Coach.
you're welcome.
I
As we always
appreciate
do.
it. Love you.
I do love you. I do. The whole family now knows it. So um, that's right. Once it's on the internet, it's there to stay. So Adam loves you, Coach Adam, for all time. There it is.
Oh boy.
We are friends in the family of light, and one day we'll get a chance to connect. I'm sure in the real world. So we'll get a chance to do that. I'm already making you a hug in the oven. So as my father always said, you got to put a hug in the oven for me, son, and because it was nice and warm. You got to have that oven hug.
Yeah.
As I always do.
I'm a hugger. People wonder why I like to hug so much, but I do. I'm a hugger. So,
All right. Okay.
just
We'll set a
that's
timer.
me.
We'll get a good 5-minute hug in when we first meet. There you go. Deal. So
Got
done.
it.
There you go. Well, as we wrap up this one for the end of season 2, I always like to give back any type of moment that you want to share with anybody in that regard. For any of the speakers that we usually have here as guests on the show, and of course, I want to give you that exact same affordability. So, what would you like to leave as a message, maybe for the future you, for anyone that you love and like that is going to be a part of your family that you'll have watch this, for your future version, for your children, any type of lasting words, anyone for the community? What would you like to leave us with as we wrap up our final episode for season 2 together?
Not to be afraid of talking to someone. It's a stigma that a lot of us have, that we don't want to talk to anybody.
Hmm.
I had that.
Yeah.
Now I realize that it's helping. So talk to someone, whether it's a friend, a family member, a priest, if you're at your church, or your minister, whoever it is. But don't hold it in, because from experience, it does bother, and it gets to that point where you don't know what the negativity is going to stop. With your negative thoughts are going to continue to go all the time, and I realized that, and it's something that I don't want to go back to. And I'm sure people that will be following you and listening to everything will realize that people need to stay positive, especially with the fact that we just are coming out of COVID and being at home for a whole month, last year,
Yeah.
or the year before. And it's still people transitioning out of that. And just stay positive and smile. I'm always smiling. Uh,
That's right.
talk talking is the biggest thing that I can say, and I'm now telling my kids, you need to tell me what's going on with you. I need to know. If I can help you, fine. I'll somehow figure out a way to help you. uh, what else can I say? Just that the community is huge, and it's people probably say, well, why are you doing that? Well, because to me it helps me. Maybe it's going to help someone else,
Yeah.
and someone else from that person will help someone else. So to me, that's the biggest take on it. uh why do something if you're not going to be able to help someone else on it?
Yeah. I love
That's
that.
pretty much it.
Okay. It's a beautiful place to put it. And if you're going to do anything at all, then put all of what you got into it.
Yeah,
I'm with you all the way, Leonor.
exactly.
Well, for the Rough Sketch of Final Draft family, from Coach Adam and the wonderful Leonor, we wrap up season 2 with a lovely bow as we grow in our beautiful family and get a chance to represent and acknowledge amazing guests and amazing members such as Leonor and all of you. So thank you for listening. Thank you for continuing supporting. Thank you for being a part of this growing family. And we look forward to seeing you in 2024 in season 3. So we love you and we thank you always. Like and subscribe. I
Love
have
you
to
too.
remember more. I love you. Cheers, everyone.